I assume you know what this is, right? You haven't been living under a rock? It's a lemon. And lemons are great, you drink them in water, you get the benefit of all the alkalinity, it's amazing for your body, it helps balance things in your system. But I want to share something about this lemon here in a second. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about how sometimes in our business, in our life, we have things that we don't want to do, and we find ourselves really struggling to get them done, right? Everyone does it. Think about somebody who is afraid of public speaking, deathly afraid of it. Well, they don't want to get up on stage, right? They do everything to avoid it. Warren Buffett, believe it or not, one of the greatest orators that we know in our history is somebody that was deathly afraid of public speaking. See, Jillian Zoe Siegel, who is the author of the book Getting There, a Book of Mentors, was on my show, Boss Academy Radio, and she had this great story about all these people she'd interviewed, Warren Buffett being one of them. Deathly afraid of public speaking, dropped out of a public speaking course in college because he was afraid, and he knew that if he could get past his fear, it would be so huge for him. So he forced himself to eventually go through a Dale Carnegie course, and believe it or not, he passed. And so on his wall in Omaha, Nebraska, in his office, he's got this framed diploma from the Dale Carnegie public speaking course that he went through because it was so important to him. It transformed his life. And he's a perfect example of what can happen if you persevere and overcome and just push yourself beyond those things that you're afraid of. But see, one of the things that you have to do sometimes is convince yourself that you're not afraid of those things, or convince yourself that that thing that you once hated, you now love. Have you ever been somebody that just couldn't get yourself to exercise? You couldn't get yourself to exercise. Then all of a sudden you start exercising, you realize, this isn't so bad. I feel better, I'm sleeping better, wow, I'm eating better. And all of a sudden you find yourself wanting to do more and more exercise, right? Because it became pleasurable. Our brain seeks pleasure and avoids pain. Marissa Peer is this great researcher. She does brain research. She's a psychologist. And she's really, really someone that just will knock your socks off if you hear her talk about the way the mind works. But one of the things that she had shared was this story about, lemons. And she goes, I want you to close your eyes. Put your hand out straight out in front of you. Close your eyes. And imagine you have a lemon in your hand. And she goes, I want you to bring that lemon up to your nose and smell it. Now I want you to humor me, and I want you to go ahead and do this. Go ahead and close your eyes. Imagine you've got a lemon in your hand, reach straight out in front of you. Pull it up to your nose. Smell it. Feel the texture in your hand. Now I want you to take a big bite out of that lemon. And you know what the experience is, right? You know that it's going to be tart. And if you've got your eyes closed and you're actually doing this, what's happening right now? Is your mouth watering? Absolutely. Because see, that lemon isn't real, but you've made it real in your mind. And I think that is so important that we recognize that. We can convince our brain that things that aren't real are real. And we can convince our things that aren't pleasurable are pleasurable. It happens all the time. If you've ever been somebody that struggled to get up and exercise, jump out of bed, put a smile on your face, sing a song as you go out running, and I guarantee the experience will be different because you've made your brain go, you know what, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe this guy's enjoying this. Maybe we should pursue this further. And that's kind of the key, right? You need to make your brain experience pleasure where there was once pain. And this is how you can actually transform your life and transform your business. Let's say procrastination. Believe it or not, you're finding pleasure in procrastination. You may argue that and say, well, it's so painful not getting things done. I get it. It is, right? And if you've ever listened to Tony Robbins talk, you've heard him say this message time and time again. And I'm not trying to mimic Tony Robbins here, but I'm just trying to share a story, because if you think procrastination is not pleasurable, you're finding pleasure in it. But if you can make procrastination the pain, your brain's going to avoid it. It's going to seek the things that you have turned into pleasure. So think about that in your own business and in your own life. Are there things that you're doing right now that are holding you back? Maybe you're finding pleasure in that task. It may not seem like it. It may seem painful because you're not getting things done. But somehow you're finding pleasure in that. So convince yourself. And the words you use to talk about yourself. If you say, I'm a winner, I'm somebody who gets things done, I'm somebody who takes action, you're probably going to be somebody who becomes a winner, takes action, whether it's real or not in the moment. But if you tell yourself, I'm a loser, I hate doing that, God, I really dread dealing with these clients, all of a sudden those things that could be really beneficial to you become monumental tasks to accomplish. So what are you doing to transform your business in your life? Think about this lemon. Anytime you struggle with this, just imagine you're holding this lemon in your hand. Reach out, pull it up to your nose, take a bite out of it, experience that salivation, and you realize, you know what? I just made something not real, real. And you can do amazing things. Tony Robbins always shares this example on stage of being able to turn, reach as far as you can. Okay, and you've got a limit. You're going to have a stopping point. He goes, now close your eyes and visualize yourself going further, and imagine yourself going around totally like an owl and coming all the way back to the front. And he has people do this. Marissa Peer uses a similar example, but she says, instead of doing that, just imagine yourself going back like this, and then tell yourself you want to go a third further. And so I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to demonstrate. So I go back as far as I can, right? Now I'm going to tell myself, okay, brain, go a third further than you did. Now all of a sudden go back. I'm reaching further and further and further. I'm not faking this. It's real. Do it for yourself. Stand up right now and do that exercise. You're going to find it really works. And I hope in your business, in your life, in your day-to-day that you recognize that you have the ability to turn things around. Things that you're not doing, you can do by making them pleasurable. That's the way the brain works. So seek pleasure, avoid pain. But you have control over what that means. So hopefully this helps. I'm Paul Kirch, host and founder of Boss Academy Radio. And this has been a short little episode of Boss Academy Transformations because I really want you to transform your body, mind, and spirit and go out and do things that you never thought you could. And it all starts with this little lemon. Have an amazing day.